first I thought you were one of Paolo's gang, but you don't look so bad up close. Somehow, being so close to the Howlers has kept me safe so far. They like me because I pay up every month. All they care about is the money. Business used to be real good here, with the silver mines and all. How things change. Excuse me, but please stay in the part of the shop open to the public. That part of my shop is off limits.
No one got fired for being injured.
Yeah, so they say. The mining office handled things like that. And the family committee made sure that the bosses never got too greedy.
Kind of stalemate. Everything worked as long as one side didn't win out over the other. And that's exactly what happened once Stilton disappeared. Let me have it.
Ah, no, you bastard!
Overseer hasn't shared his plans with me. He's upstairs now, so I assume we'll learn something before long.
I'd wager it'll all be over soon. I'm surprised it's taken us this long to deal with a mob of ruffians.
You know what the strictures say about wagering, brother? The Howlers are merciless, and Paolo carries the Outsider's blessing. Some talisman comes straight from the jaws of the Void itself. Keep that in mind, or you'll find yourself bleeding out.
Once the Abbey's off our backs, I'll make it too expensive for the Duke to run the mines. The workers stop digging, the Duke will see that mines producing at half speed are more profitable than mines producing nothing.
For better working conditions and less dust in the streets, we'd be happy to up our payments.
There's a way to satisfy everybody. First, in this district, then across the city. The people who work the mines have more power than they know.
Thank you.
Blacks, they pick up the tools and pick up their axe. The dust did blow, say way.
All right, I'm stepping away for a moment. Don't drink all the...
A fight?
The Howler you killed was a friend of mine.
I'm a...
What?
Paolo had a mummified hand?
In case you're wondering, Paolo's not one of those unhinged cultists who believe I will grant them favors if they leave a big enough offering or play just the right musical notes. He doesn't care a fig for me. But he put up this shrine because he found the hand of an old witch I knew once. And Paolo saw right away that it pays to have an edge. Sometimes pieces of us linger long after we're gone. The Duke of Serkonos inherited a vibrant city and wasted no time stripping it to the bone. What will he leave behind? And what about you? Who will you leave to pick up the pieces here in the Jewel of the South?
excited about what the years might hold, about the places I'd visit. I recall childhood moments with my mother on her throne, and my father, a figure of mystery. I remember the rat plague, Mother's passing, and all that happened at the Hound Pits pub. Now this. I just want to put an end to Delilah's reign and get my father back. This house holds her secrets. Delilah pulled herself up from tragedy, grabbing the Empire and changing it to her liking. With Duke Luca Abel, she transformed a coddled dilettante into a schemer who helped her take my throne. She's made herself immortal, and even my father's sword couldn't end her life. I'm going to undo all she's done. And next time, I'll hold on to the things I cherish, just a bit tighter.
When I close my eyes, I've got to clean up. They'll all see I don't belong among the upper crust, the fine people. Yo,
Aramis Stilton?
Warm the quilts, will you? I feel like it's going to be cold tonight. Is there bad news from the mines? I can sense it. How many dead? This can't be right. Who has been fooling with the clocks? I'll have their pay docked. The days are burning. Can't you smell it? Right up in smoke! And I remember that night, sitting out waiting. I knew it was wrong. I say something? Theo? Where are you, my friend? I must speak to you. Let's have tea in the kitchen.
By the Void.
Your guests are waiting in the study. The Duke is demanding refreshments, and I can't get in without the combination.
There's a note on the door, Captain Winterbottom.
What? He's out back. I need the code to the study.
It's in his notebook, ma'am, but he keeps it with him.
Thank you, Corporal. Speaking bluntly, I really don't like Stilton's guests. Earlier, I got my ass chewed out by the Royal Curator. What's her name?
You're talking about Brianna Ashworth, I believe.
Yes, that's her. She's an odd one. Anyway, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Captain.
You should know. The center of the manor is off limits tonight. Everything around the study.
What's so special about the center of the manor?
Nothing, usually. But the Duke and his party are here tonight, and they don't want to be disturbed. So that entire part of the house is under lockdown by the Grand Guard.
I'm not sure how to take your tone.
Hey!
Please!
I don't want to die!
Tonight, Duke of Bell and the others will drink my expensive whiskey and scheme. Jindosh will watch me like a cat with a half-chewed mouse. Ashworth will sneer about how conventional the rest of us are. Missing the obvious, she'll flirt for a while, then put me in my place. I'll sit on my anger, remembering what Theodanis meant to me. I'll tell myself I worked for this honor. I swung a pick in the mines, and now the fine folk are guests in my house. If they want to hold a seance, who am I to say it's nonsense? Whatever happens, I'll regret it. But afterward, Megan's coming by. Talking with her always sets me right.
Megan claims Stilton was a good man, at odds with the Duke.
Does Stilton actually play the harp or the piano?
Not that I ever heard.
What am I doing here then? Why hire a tuner for instruments no one ever plays?
If you ask me, Stilton thinks a harp or a piano is the kind of thing a man in his position should own.
I'm not sure what that means. I've always thought people bought an instrument because they liked music.
Hear anything. It'd be easier if we could open the door and get closer. You sure the combination you saw doesn't work?
I got a glimpse of Stilton's notebook last month, but he must have changed the combination since then.
Damn. What are they doing?
Come on, someone could show up any minute.
Theo, forgive me. When tonight is over, the Duke will have to trust me. I'll know his secrets too well. Or will that make me too dangerous to keep around? No, the Duke couldn't possibly touch me. This city is nothing without the mines. But perhaps he could run them without me, through lackeys and bureaucrats. Everything I've built run like a butcher shop. Stilton, you're a fool. Look what you've gotten yourself.
This is to keep you from seeing whatever drove you into a nightmare tonight. By rendering Stilton unconscious, I changed the past. But how?
I wonder how much time I have before Mr. Stilton returns home. I want to beat out the rugs, but the dust makes him cough.
Too many years in the silver mines. But go ahead, he won't be back until very late tonight. He's throwing a party for one of the miners who's retiring.
They broke the mold when they made old Aramis Stilton.
Yeah, so true. It's really...
Vice Overseer Byrne, if only you could see this, you'd have nightmares.
It's time to begin. Where's Stilton? I should never have kept him on just because he and my father were...
If anyone has any doubts, set them aside now.
This defies rational understanding. It's the frayed edge where natural philosophy crosses over into something else.
Yes, I can feel it. We risk madness.
All of you, Delilah is your rightful empress. You owe her this.
Delilah's stronger than before. The Duke and I have heard her voice, whispering to us. And now it's time. So take your positions. Focus on the void behind the world. You can feel her power, can't you?
By the star. This is more exciting than any orgy I've ever attended. Do it now!
Returned from the cold, from forever. She lives.
How curious. It seems to have worked.
My spirit is safe now, inside this thing. Luca, you must lock it away.
I thought we'd lost you.
Brianna, Luca, I will never abandon you. Wait! You are hidden, but I know who you are. I know when you are. You've come to watch me return, and someday I'll come for you.
The void beyond the world is strange. I won't ever understand all I've seen.
By the star. This is more exciting than any orgy I've ever attended. Do it now!
Returned from the cold, from forever. She lives.
How curious. It seems to have worked.
My spirit is safe now, inside this thing. Luca, you must lock it away.
I thought we'd lost you.
Brianna, Luca, I will never abandon you. Wait! You are hidden, but I know who you are. I know when you are. You've come to watch me return, and someday I'll come for you.
Focus on the void behind the world. You can feel her power, can't you?
By the star. This is more exciting than any orgy I've ever attended. Do it now!
Returned from the cold, from forever.
How curious. It seems to have worked.
My spirit is safe now, inside this thing. Luca, you must lock it away.
I thought we'd lost you.
And don't come back!
Brianna, Luca, I will never abandon you. Wait! You are hidden, but I know who you are. I know when you are. You've come to watch me return, and someday I'll come for you.
Then I'm close to something familiar and unknown. Always conflict, power, greed, lust. For me, what I wouldn't give just to hold your hand in mine one more time. Yes, there is more here than corruption and pain. Don't despair. There is goodness here too. There is an old spirit here. I remember. Delilah. There is corruption here. It beckons you. Promises riches and power. So much temptation. Do I know this place? Have I wisdom to convey? I only know that I am weary. Nothing more. So many hands built this place, and it is so grand. Was so grand. It could have been a paradise for all.
Stilton's acting odd-like today. Just staring at nothing.
I don't think the Duke and Stilton are on good terms.
Today feels different. Stilton seems spooked.
Watch yourself up there. Nobody's repaired the balcony yet. If those supports break, I might not be able to catch your heavy ass.
I'm counting on you, ma'am. It might be romantic.
All right.
Look around you. A crumbling island at the very edges of the void. But this one is special. It's the place where my throat was cut 4,000 years ago. This is where my life ended, and where it began again. It's where they made me.
This part of the void feels older.
Right up until the end, I thought I'd find a way to escape. I fought, but the ropes only cut my skin, so I went limp. And then a knife touched my throat, and I knew I'd waited too long. The blood ran out, and I became a god. Now you know Delilah's secret. At the end of her days, she drifted through the void and should have been lost forever. But her will and cunning are second to none. She found this place, The island in the void where I became what I am. It changed her, and she discovered a way to draw from it, tapping into the power here. Delilah is a part of me now, and I don't like it. You have to give Delilah credit. She tore out a piece of herself and hid it away, inside a thing made of bones. She's made herself immortal. If you want to kill Delilah, you're going to have to find her spirit and give it back to her. Reaching it won't be easy, but what comes after that might be the hardest thing you will ever have to do.
The world contains more mysteries than I imagined.
Wouldn't miss that. Without Stilton's support, this district would have fallen into anarchy by now. Are you, coming tonight?
Nah, not this time.
Your
You
face
bet.
is covered. Worried someone might recognize you?
If we get approval for the new ventilation shaft, it'll mark a real victory. Hello there. What can I do for you? The Family Miners Committee is here for everyone. Do you need help?
Lucia Pastor, right? You deserve thanks for helping the people here.
Considering who you are, I don't know whether to feel honored that you recognize me, or to yell at you for propping up the Duke while he's shitting all over Serkonos.
And who do you think I am?
I'm not stupid. Whether the newspapers and the posters in the street are right or wrong, I know who you are. And I hope you're here to end Luca Abella's tyranny. Either way, we haven't been sitting around waiting for you to clean up your mess.
Sounds like you have a plan.
No, nothing that solid. Not yet. But I believe the Duke will fall, eventually. All I can say is that when you reach the Grand Palace, just be aware that not everyone there is your enemy. Trust your judgment.
All right. I'll remember that.
Anyway, good luck. There's still a chance to make something new here in Karnaca. Something that serves everyone, not just some rapacious bastard with a title. There's always so much to do. So little time to think. Careful! The mining families in the district work as hard as the miners. Kids to feed, sick... Hey! The families we represent are very poor, but aren't afraid of hard work. Good people.
You're back. That was quick.
Remember what you saw here when you're back in Dunwall, Emily. My final lesson, perhaps. Are you ready to leave? The dust is wreaking havoc on my throat.
Not just yet.
Sorry I couldn't take you to see Stilton myself. But I guess you found the place. Years back, Stilton was always quiet about the Duke. I never figured out just why. Lucky for the miners, Aramis Stilton does all he can against the Duke's destructive ways.
Found the original palace in Karnaca, his birthplace, in order to build a lavish structure that cost enough to feed everyone in Serkonos for years. It's said to be a sprawling estate to humble all others, a monument to his ego and sense of princely entitlement. But whatever the Duke has done to his nation happened while I was Empress. In Dunwall, we were content to look the other way as long as the silver kept flowing. I've got to get inside the Grand Palace, deal with the Duke, and find a way to steal Delilah's soul.
Can feel it. This is my last night. Soon I'll dissolve into the great nothing.
You should be at peace.
I've stayed too long. Find Delilah's spirit. Trap her with this cage of dead flesh. Set me free.
I don't understand.
You will, very soon.
Are you ready for this?
I've been inside a dozen castles and 100 mansions, and they're the same everywhere. The Duke's palace can't be anything worse than Lady Brisby's social afternoons.
Getting inside might not be the hard part. The Duke doesn't exactly run a tight ship.
Taking down Duke Abella's only part of the puzzle. You've also got to find whatever it is he's keeping for Delilah.
You were cryptic about what you gleaned from visiting the Dust District, which is fine. The world is better with a hint of mystery. But once you're inside the Grand Palace, whatever you do could affect things in Karnaca for years to come. Remember that.
I've got a map of the Grand Palace for you, and I know something that may be useful. There's a hidden lever in the pantry that opens a passage to the Duke's vault. If he's keeping anything precious for Delilah, I suspect that's where it'll be. Beyond that, good hunting.
I'll see what I can do. I know things in Karnaca are fragile, and I've got a lot to think about after all this is done.
It's not widely known, but the Duke has a body double. The man is the spitting image of Luca. A likable fellow, and quite humble. I've no idea where they found him, but the Duke's double has spent years passing for the Duke. I suppose Luca always hoped his double would be there to take an assassin's bullet. Take care. I hope to see you again.
I hope I've been of some help to you. It's good to feel useful, here near the end of my time. Look at you. In a lifetime, how many monarchs have done half of what you have in a month? I hear the Duke's wine cellar is exquisite, if you happen to pass through. I remember telling you stories at the Hound Pits pub so long ago. How you've changed.
Ready to visit the Duke?
Let's get underway.
At the palace, the Duke has a look-alike body double, meant to confuse assassins. A friend of mine washes the linens and said the double is a smoker, if that helps. Maybe you can talk to him. She says he's a nice guy. What a shitty job, pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
It's remarkable that people tolerate the Duke.
He's got an army, control of the mines, and he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall, full of toadies sucking up to me, stabbing each other in the back.
Poor Empress. I could see those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept, in the flooded district.
I know you grew up hard, Megan. I used to wander Dunwall with my face hidden. But when I got tired of it, I could always go back to the tower. Karnaka's given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff. Sorry if I sound bitter. Don't turn your back on the Duke. After we leave Karnaka, there are some things we need to talk about. Things I feel remorse over. I know not everyone who lives in a great palace is a snake. But it's real easy to get accustomed to eating off silver plates. If you figure out which one is the Duke's double, you might want to see what he knows. You wouldn't believe it, but I could have ended the Duke a long, long time ago. Wish I had now. If something happens and you don't make it back, I might have a go at Duke Abel. When this is done, we leave Karnaka at once. I won't be sorry to leave this city. I've done all I can here. I've earned what I've got, even the scars. Especially the scars. Take care of yourself. We'll be there when you're ready.
Nothing.
I feel dizzy.
Am I seeing things?
Wait. I'm ashamed. Just looking at it, I'm ashamed.
You seem different. Can you help me out with a bit of coin? You're a good one. You know, there's a place near here. It's some rocks behind a fountain. People have always left offerings there. That's where I started having those odd dreams. I don't go there anymore, but you might want to check it out. Sorcery, they said. They burned my books and they hit me in the head until there were no more visions. I used to live here a long time ago. Can you believe it? Was a songwriter, poet. I I used to have such visions. Dreams of black oceans and whales in the sky overhead.
Reapply next month. The command staff changes constantly. New officers, new rules. And spread a few coins here and there among the officers. Are you waiting for me?
Go anywhere after all.
Public. Different city in those days. Didn't know that. Man, you sure had a lot of different jobs.
Yes. I don't know what's running hagfish. Hands and salt all day, nails bleeding, choking on the factory air.
At least when you joined the Grand Guard, you got a really soft position near the palace.
You might change your mind about that after you've been here a while. Sometimes the Duke's friends do some strange shit.
Really? Like what?
One night, someone up there decided it'd be funny to throw down food at us. I got hit in the face with a pineapple. Then a whole roasted pig came down and split the boat in half. It was raining apples and meat pies. All sorts of nice food floating around in the water.
Damn. People in the city starving. Life's just not the same when you live up there, is it?
You're not losing your nerve, I hope.
No, not at all. But how do you know which one is the Duke? I don't know where they found that guy with the political decoy job. But he looks and acts just like the Duke. I can't tell them apart.
There are subtle differences.
All right. Assuming you can pick out Duke Luca, how are we gonna get his key?
You leave that to me. Who knows what he's got in that vault? We'll be halfway to Bristol and rich before he's nursing over.
That's a good plan, the way this place is run. You sure he always keeps the key with him?
I'm sure. We'll do it tomorrow night when there's only one squad scheduled for patrol. Just be ready.
Near. Throats cut and heads lopped off all over Karnaca. Times of plenty for us, times of famine for the people underfoot. And now, it's all going to shit.
Hard to get a good lungful.
I must have a talk with the cook. That did not taste anything like pigeon. It's beyond embarrassing. I won't be able to have another dinner party for at least a month.
Who's that? I don't like that. Better have a look. You're so dead!
I don't want to die!
No mercy! I hit hard! What is all this racket? Wait. Ashamed. Just looking at it. I'm ashamed.
Or some other ruler, the Queen of Morley, or even the Empress.
More of what I already do. Screwing, eating fine meals, smoking the best haverweed. And when I wasn't doing that, I'd be buying exotic furniture from Tivia, having my apartments redecorated.
So you wouldn't really change much?
No, of course not. What's the point of having power if you can't just do whatever you want?
Pets. Lickspittles. At least I'm not one of them.
Exactly. And think, when all this fighting of the thrones is settled, the Duke's going to need men to take charge in the Northern Isles. By this time next year, you could be in charge of Windown or Freyport.
Where even the most desirable have skin like pale slugs.
That's what the brandy's for.
The machine is recharging the magnetic coil.
When I first met with my inner circle, I saw nervous faces. Even the boldest were afraid, wondering if we'd live to see another feast. Now Serconis is ascendant, but this is a story that began long years before. I knew Delilah when I was only a boy, and even after she was lost, dead, and gone from the world, her memory burned in my mind. Until finally I began to hear her whispering, calling to me from the void. Telling her story of growing up in Dunwall Tower and the half-sister who cheated her of her throne. Then she told me there was a way to bring her home. Delilah. Beautiful. Immortal.
Here you are, back among your own people. The palace-born, and those who curry their favor. Are you feeling more comfortable, Majesty? Are these the people you want running a quarter of your empire? No? It never seemed to bother you before. Maybe it looks different up close. Maybe here it's harder to ignore the way the people outside the palace get through the day. In any case, I know what you're after. The heart you carry can only hold one spirit at a time. So, if you want to walk out with a piece of Delilah, you'd better be ready to leave something behind.
How hard can it be to clean a few things? Honestly, why do I pay for a house full of servants when they don't do anything?
My heart can't take much more of this. I could spend hours just looking across the bay.
You won't see any whales this far south. They like the colder, deeper water.
We get a few, but not today. Besides, I'm more interested in the occasional boat, or maybe catching a glimpse of something going on at Addermire.
This is the life, isn't it? Being a friend of the Duke's has its advantages.
My mother's old money. So, to tell you the truth, it's the only life I've known.
Tremendously more attractive.
Delilah Copperspoon. Let's see what Duke Bell keeps hidden away in here. This must be the Duke's vault.
To bow or kiss my hand.
I could say the same.
A mystery. Let's have it then. Who are you and what do you want?
Listen, I think you're the Duke's body double. You can't have any love for the man. I'm here to end his rule, and I have an idea you should hear.
All right, you've figured it out. But if you're not here to assassinate the Duke, what do you want?
It occurs to me that you might make a more agreeable Duke than Luca Abel. If I wanted to depose him without having to slit his throat, do you think you could convince people that you're the Duke?
That's bold. I have to admit it's crossed my mind. If people believed that I was actually Duke Abel, and that he was the political decoy, we could have him committed for lunacy. We could convince everyone that the Double's finally lost his mind and believes he's the Duke. I've spent years perfecting my performance. But there's a catch. He's got a medallion that I need. Even if I sound convincing, which should be the easy part, his Grand Guard officers will ask to see the medallion as proof. Luca never puts it aside.
All right. It shouldn't take me long. Once it's done, I'll be leaving the city. Soon after, I'll send instructions from Dunwall, and I'll expect a great deal of flexibility and cooperation on your part. There's still time to pull Serkonos back from the edge of the cliff. We can undo the damage Duke Abel has inflicted.
I'd like that. But I'll guide Serkonos in the ways I see fit for the people here, not as the hand-chosen puppet of your empire. If you agree with that, just render the Duke unconscious and bring him to his chambers. I'll handle the rest. That's it then. Now it's up to me. I'll take the medallion and call them.
I'll be watching. Break a leg.
Don't worry. I've spent years mimicking this asshole. Captain Almeida, come at once to my chambers. There's a problem. Quick, hide up there.
Your Eminence, are you all right?
Yes, Captain. Please arrest this clown. Seems that he took his role a little too seriously. Get your hands off me! Poor man. He served me well for years. We'll never find anyone else who so bears my resemblance. Take him away, Captain, but be gentle.
I think I understand, Your Eminence. We'll handle it.
What? This is outrageous. I'll have you all skinned alive and set in a salt bath. If only there was something we could do for him. I suppose all those years pretending he was me, that eventually took its toll. No! Stop! I am the Duke of Serkonos! You can't do this!
Dr. Hypatia at Adamire will know what to do with the poor man.
People of Karnaca, this is your rightful ruler, Empress Emily Drexel Leela Caldwin. I came here to Karnaca, the Jewel of the South, with one purpose in mind. To set things right with the Duke of Serkonos, Luca Abel, who has of late been deceived by the pretender to my throne, Delilah Copperspoon. Duke Abel and I are old friends, and at his heart, he is a loyal ally and servant to the Empire. I am your Empress, but my father is Serkonan, and your blood flows through my veins. I will leave you now and return to Dunwall, but know this. We have parlayed, and the Duke now understands the crisis in full. My hope is to restore my throne in Dunwall with haste. I bid you farewell, and ask you to maintain your faith and loyalty. I will address you again soon.
Confused by your most recent response. The Duke was, well, he was furious. He sent me to interview you about your progress.
One of the maids took me for a walk. We dug beetles in the park with shiny green shells.
I don't understand, Mr. Jindosh. Working with Anton Sokolov, were you successful at lowering the cost of Clockwork Soldier production? The Duke is expecting a reduction of 80 to 90%, based on your own estimates.
She let me keep a few of them in a jar. I pulled off their legs.
That's interesting. Let me remind you, as Grand Inventor, you've been given everything you requested. But with that comes a responsibility for deadlines, an expectation of progress.
Wait, I remember the undertaking you're talking about now. Yes.
Excellent. So what can I tell the Duke?
I had a visitor, I think. Or maybe they came for Sokolov. It's hard to recall the details. Anton wouldn't help, but I was close to finding a way to... The difference engine is inscribed in copper along the concave surface of the inner head mechanism. But wait. I can't. It slips away. The beetles we found today, I'm going to give them all names.
This is useless. What am I going to tell Duke Luca?
This is the thing Ashworth made to hold Delilah's spirit.
This is it. You must release me from this dead vessel. Only then will you be able to track Delilah's spirit.
I don't know how I can do this. You were all I ever wanted.
I stayed as long as I could, trying to guide you. The world is better for your influence.
Be at peace, Mother. I will honor you, always.
I love you. And this is the final thought I carry into the past.
So it's done. Now to take Delilah's soul back to them.
The heart of my half-sister? Only her flesh remains.
I wonder if it was even really alive.
Destiny is gone at last, faded into nothing. Her reward is peace. You will never gain back what you lost here. You're alone now. I'm your only family. I inhabit two impossible places at once. The prison of dead flesh, after a prison of bones. You will take me back and die at my hands.
So, is that it? The fall of Karnaca?
From now on, the Duke will be guided by better stars.
Back to the dreadful whale, then, and on toward Dunwall.
Yes, at long last. To take back the throne, and find a way to save my father.
Ready, then?
Let's set out.
All right. As you want.
I grew up with this broken skyline, the muted colors and the way the light falls. It's Dunwall, but it's not. Have I changed, or does everything just look different when you're not wearing a crown? Whatever grand scheme you've got underway now, Delilah, you were smart when you stole this place from me. You knew who among my people to corrupt, and you took away my strongest ally, my father. But you didn't know me. You only saw a sheltered princess. You never thought I'd fight back. You don't know me, Delilah, but you will.
This thing in Karnaca could have really gotten ugly. I'm amazed it didn't. Same old Dunwall. Smoke, and garbage, and rats. All those aristocrats. For anyone to live like that, 100 others have to live.
Remarkable what Delilah's accomplished, coming from such a background, taking the throne. Let's not forget that small detail in all this. Drunken despot. I doubt my apartment on Caldwell's Bridge is as I left it. When this is over, I might visit the Academy of Natural Philosophy and shock them all, assuming it still stands. You know where to go to find Delilah. But how will you handle her? It's my hope that you have some sort of plan.
It could be tricky. She might not give me any choice but to fight. And Delilah deserves whatever she gets.
At my age, I've come to distrust words like deserve. As I told you, I knew her long ago. Badly wounded, deep at her center, but cunning, and looking for a way to pull herself up. Perhaps more than anything, Delilah had a talent for imagining the world as a better place. If only that could have been channeled towards something less twisted.
It's probably too late to dwell on regrets.
Yes, you're right. In any case, please watch yourself. I've come to care a great deal about you.
Goodbye, Anton.
Megan is waiting for you on the deck outside. She seemed cagey earlier, even more than usual. You took the worst Karnaca had to offer and acquitted yourself superbly. Good luck with Delilah. I fear for the Empire if you fail. Remember, the people of the city might have endured a great deal since you were driven from Dunwall. Desperate times. I've got maybe one more chapter left in my own tale. Hopefully a chapter set next to a roaring fire in Tivia. Toppling the Duke must give you a sense of peace. Maybe a better day will be born of it. It would be interesting to study why the bloodflies have never taken hold here. Time. If I only had more time. Goodbye, Emily. I suspect I'll not see you again.
All right, Aunt Delilah. Let's see what you've done with my palace. Sir Konos has a better duke now, even if no one else knows it. Home at last. It feels like another lifetime living in the tower.
Hey, there you are. I wanted a chance to talk.
Megan.
People have called me that for a long time, but it's a lie. My name is Billy Lurk.
Everyone's full of secrets. Why do I feel like you've got more to say?
Yeah. I can't believe I'm telling you this, but you deserve the truth. I'll just say it. 15 years ago, I ran with a mercenary gang. We got paid to kill people. Some who deserved it, some who didn't. The boss pulled me up from the Dunwall slums when I had nothing and had run out of rope. This is hard to admit.
Whatever it is, spit it out.
Our leader was the assassin Dowd. and I was part of the crew. Our last big job together. We were paid to...
You helped Dowd kill my mother?
Yes. I don't know what else to say. I've lived a very long time wishing I could take that day back, but I can't.
I can't ever forgive you for what you did. But suffering has a way of twisting people. You're a different woman today than you were then.
Yeah. We've all been hurt. But not all of us did what I did. Or became what Delilah became. I know you'll never get over it. But neither will I.
I hope not. Goodbye, Billy. I'm taking the skiff, and I'll go alone from here.
I can't deny it. Traveling with you has changed me. I know you want to face her alone, but good luck. Remember, even if you pull off whatever trick you're planning for Delilah, she won't be easy to beat. I'm glad Sokolov was awake to say goodbye. How is it the old man cured the plague all those years ago, but can't eat without getting food on his shirt? In my time here, the Dunwall City Watch was just a bunch of drunkards and layabouts. No wonder half of them turned on you. Goodbye, Emily.
If old Samuel could see me now.
Take me to Dunwall Tower. Bring me back to the cage of my own chest.
Oh, I will. Delilah will be made mortal again.
You let your mother slip into oblivion. Do you know where my mother's resting? In a child's coffin, her skinny legs tucked beneath her, because I couldn't afford proper burial, while my father rests in the Imperial crypt.
You're lying.
You still can't accept it, little girl. Your father was born a nobody. I inhabit your mother's heart, and my body walks the halls of your crumbling palace and sleeps between your sheets.
If I learned anything in Karnaca, it's that birth shouldn't give anyone the right to rule. You earn it every day by serving the people who need you. Now I'm coming to end your tyranny, Delilah.
Watch your ass out there.
After sparrows 3 times call, after gold dust 3 times fall, come, touched his head, cursed his name, burned his dead. Hush up, and don't be afraid. Mama will sing through all the night. Man is dead. Hush up, and don't be afraid. Mama will sing through all the night. Many an hour before morning sun. Don't dream of horror yet to come.
I've heard some of Delilah's ladder set up on Caldwell's bridge. No one can cross. The Desire family luck. Who are you?
I'm not a friend to your new Empress, Delilah.
Thank the stars for that. I've been hiding here since the coup. Worked in the carriage rails before things went to pieces.
I've been in Karnaca for over a month. What can you tell me?
At first, there was fighting. Delilah's bunch against those in the city watch who were still loyal. People tried to barricade the streets, to put up a wall around the tower. Eventually, the overseers came down, led by the High Overseer himself. They fought against Delilah's witches. That's the only word for them. But I haven't seen an overseer in a while now.
Anything else?
There was rioting over food. The people have fled the district mostly. Not long ago, someone came by in the dead of the night, pushing a carriage toward the tower. Looked like bones. Maybe from a whaling slaughterhouse. No idea why Delilah would want that.
Thanks for what you've told me. Stay hidden for a few more days. Maybe things will get better after that.
Good luck with what it is you're after, though I think I can guess. If you cross Delilah's path, or any of those with her, just remember how many they slaughtered.
Careful!
This place wasn't perfect before, but at least the bakeries and the pubs were open. Where am I gonna find the money for that?
Building on this street.
Why not? No one to stop us from tearing up everything in the city.
My dear old dad says that Emmett Lark built this place.
Oh, who cares who built it? Old Lady Grithers lived here when I was growing up. She's gone now, trampled underfoot in one of those riots.
That's a bad way to go.
Trick is to die in bed, belly full of whiskey. That's how I'm gonna go out. You watch.
No, I'm thinking it's a belly full of stab wounds for you, throwing up blood in an alley.
Hello?
By the gates.
Yeah, after the big fight between those overseer hard-asses and Delilah's girls.
Are we gonna put it back together? Make it work?
Yeah, dumbass. Because you just spent 6 years at the Academy of Natural Philosophy.
Maybe I'll take a day. Just walk along the water. Lose your shit over a joke, Daniel. We're gonna sell it. They'd never agree. It's worth a lot of coin.
such a crazy idea. Get it working again. Put a hat on it.
We'll have to get this thing onto a boat. No one buying in Dunwall right now.
This part of the city's a graveyard. I don't know whether to run or settle in. Maybe it's time to head back to Poolwick. Show those lubbers who's who.
That's where I'll be. Huh. Maybe the Academy would want it. They're laying low because of Delilah.
Little girl. This won't take long. I'll keep that nice scarf of yours. I bet you've been living a soft life. Ah! Oh, you little shit!
She found the place where he was birthed by knife and ritual, thousands of years past. Jessamine is gone at last, faded into nothing. Her reward is peace. Soon I will dream the dream of a new world, and all will change. Empress. I see inside you, but you're not as twisted as I thought you'd be. There are marks on our flesh, made by the knife of Dunwall. Cursed Dowd who hides in the world and breathes still. As black as polished onyx as he marked her flesh. My flesh. One loves you as I do. You must get near her. Point me at her. It hurts to be so near. Take me closer. Take me there. Take me home. This separation must end.